Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Inside Major League Pickleball. Another great week in the land of pickleball. There are new champs in town on the PPA Tour, and today we get to catch up with one of them. We will intro her in just a moment, but small hint, she may or may not have won MLP Daytona Beach a couple of weekends ago. But first, a quick thanks to our sponsors. As we do every week, Pro XR, the official paddle of MLP, the only paddle custom fit for your grip. Knockaround, the official sunglasses of MLP, quality shades that won't break the bank, and Aura Organic, the official nutrition partner of Major League Pickleball. Transform your health with plant-based nutrition from Aura. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Mish McMahon, Tyson Apostle, Casey Patterson, back with us as they always are every week. And now we're thrilled to welcome in the 2023 MLP Daytona Beach champ and the PPA Tour's most recent gold medalist. She is Meghan Dizon, not Dizon. We clarified this last week. There's some discrepancy there, and I'd like to be the first one to get out ahead of it. Also played tennis at BYU, picked up pickleball in 2020. So the trajectory of your pro pickleball career has been amazing, Meghan, and thank you, and congratulations on your past weekend's performance. We'll get to that in just a moment. I want to start with Major League Pickleball for you, since it was your first experience this season in Major League Pickleball. How would you encapsulate MLP Daytona Beach from the Seattle Pioneers' perspective, from your part in that?
Yeah, so this year's my first year playing MLP ever. So, because last year, I was at the PPA, and before that, I was actually an alternate at the first MLP. So getting to play this year has been just awesome in general. I love the team environment. But playing in Daytona was awesome. I felt like my whole team was just super focused and super determined to do better than we did at the last MLP event. We made it to the semis, and we just really wanted to do better and execute and make it to the finals. And I could just feel that we all had that. I mean, every team has that goal, but I just really could feel how focused we were. Yeah.
So let's go back to that very first MLP then. You were an alternate.
Yeah. Yep.
Was there any part of you that was like, I can hurt somebody and then I'll be in? Like, did that, or were you like hoping, like a couple weeks ago on Survivor, somebody got hurt and they pulled them from the game, and so they didn't have to vote anybody out, and everybody was overjoyed that somebody got hurt.
So
because
happy.
Then, they were so happy. They were trying to mask it. They were like, "Oh, I'm so that's a bummer." Was there like, how does that feel? Like, if someone did get hurt or for some reason couldn't play, would you be able to mask your joy?
Well, okay, so it was an interesting setup that year. So me and Jill Braverman were both the alternates, but she was the first alternate.
Oh, you'd have to hurt two people then.
So I'd have to make sure
She is bubble girl. No, she wouldn't have just got to throw on a pickleball court. You'd be good.
Exactly.
Okay.
So she was the first alternate. So yes, if a team wanted to use an alternate, they'd have to choose Jill first. And so I would have had to have waited for that, and no teams that year used an alternate, so I never had my time to shine. But
oh, it's the worst. You're sitting on the couch at home like, I just beat them. I just beat that team. I beat that team. Sweet, they're there. That's how I felt the first time I was an alternate for the Olympics. I was like, cool, beat all these teams.
Oh, cool. You were in the Olympics?
Super stoked to be on the couch watching everyone I beat at the Olympics. This is stupid.
Yeah.
The worst.
Yeah, I was just chilling on the sidelines, just hanging out. But it was fun. I mean, it was cool to experience it, and I was stoked to be able to play in it the next time.
Yeah. Well, let's go to this time where now you're playing in it.
Yes.
Let's go all the way back to the draft.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly how the draft worked from your perspective. Did you know all the teams before they did the streaming of the draft? Was that already all knowledge to the players?
Yeah.
Like, did they just come to you and be like, hey, you're with the Pioneers? Or was it more, did you wait and see as they picked down the line? Like, what was there any mystique to it for you as a player?
So when the draft was happening, right when it finished up, I got a call from Dave Flemings, our GM, and he told me what team I was on and who was on it. And I mean, he starts off the call with like, all right, let's start off with like, you've got Ben Johns. And I was like, all right, sick. Let's go. I was like, we're set. We're good. And then he just listed off Etta and then Tyler Loon. And I couldn't believe when I heard our lineup, who all was on my team. I was like, okay, this is amazing.
The whole 801 squad.
Right.
Yeah.
All of Utah plus Ben. But yeah, so Dave called me. And then all the players just, I mean, we were supposed to keep it a secret. I was trying to keep it a secret, but then it was just like, it just got sent out. Like the list got sent out of like who was on each team. I do think it would be more fun though, if we had no idea and it was like a live draft and we're all there just waiting, to
with
see
real
who
reactions.
Yes. Yeah. I think that would be a lot of fun. A lot of players feel the same way.
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, I don't know exactly what they had to organize and everything, but maybe in the future that will happen. So you see this team, and are you just like, we're unstoppable, we're winning? There's not a way that someone can beat us. Like,
That's what I thought.
I mean, at first I was like, oh my gosh, like that, I couldn't have asked for a better team. But then I started seeing all the other teams, and I was like, oh wow, those are really good teams too. So there's a bunch of stacked teams, but I mean, having Ben on your team is just all you can really ever ask for. That's like, I would say Ben and Riley, they're both so good. So having either one of them on your team is a good reason to get excited.
Well, what did you say is like the most valuable? There's probably a couple without giving away any trade secrets. What have you learned from being on his team? I imagine like part of that, the value in that is also learning how he sees the game and the strategy. Like what have you pulled from that experience of just learning the game through his eyes strategically?
Yeah. He actually, I like how simple he keeps it. We don't do like I know some teams like will watch film and like go over a bunch of tape, but really Ben, like before each match, like few minutes right before we're about to go on, Ben will just, kind of say, hey, this is this person's weakness. And, I think you should, use your strength in this way. And then that's it. It's pretty simple, very basic, and, which is kind of nice. Not too much over analyzing. So I've really enjoyed that. And I just I trust Ben so much with all his experience. So just hearing him say that, I'm like, all right, I'm going to listen to whatever he says and do that. So
I heard he has a black book of every pickleball player and their weaknesses.
Is that true?
Adam Stone.
Yeah.
That's what Adam says.
Yeah.
He said, now that I'm retired, I want to go in there and look at what that is. That's hilarious.
So how thick is this book?
Well, I've only seen Colin has it. Ben hasn't showed me, but Colin showed me on his phone, and it's just like different players, like the different shots they hit and like plays they make. And a lot of times too, like Colin and Ben, Colin says they go, shopping. So it's like if they like a shot that a certain player hits, they're gonna try and implement that in their game. They kind of nitpick what they want. But it's pretty cool. I mean, if you bring something up, Colin can just like find it in his phone and he'll pull up a clip and show you what they do. It's pretty incredible.
It's almost like it's a full-time job.
Oh yeah, right. After every time they play someone, the same person, they probably update it and they like tweak it a little bit after each time.
Yeah.
I wonder if you're in there, Tyson.
No, I'm not in them. And then Colin have never
like,
seen me play.
Just make them play.
I don't know.
Get him moving, get in his head, belittle him, make him feel small. It's not very hard. It's not very hard to beat me at pickleball. Come on, guys.
Awesome.
Well, now I'm self-conscious.
Great. I've lost the whole vibe now.
Well, the rest of this is going to be a bummer. Meghan, do vegans make better pickleball players?
Oh, I mean, there's not many of us, but I'd like to think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? How many vegan MVPs are there? Right?
Very good point. I don't know if there's any other like full... Oh, actually, no, there are some other vegans on tour, but a lot of people are just plant-based. So they eat primarily like vegan or plant-based foods, but not fully. So,
okay.
Yeah.
You posted some pretty good-looking ice cream on your Instagram the other day of
Oh yeah.
dairy-free. I was like, yes.
Yeah, I like to post about food mostly. That's I just love. I've always been a foodie even before I was vegan, but there's so much good vegan food these days. Thankfully, it makes it pretty easy to be vegan.
Yeah, and when you find it, you have to share it because you're like, this
Have to.
tasted almost like real ice cream.
Yes.
Meghan, let's go from the draft to Mesa.
Okay.
What happened? What happened in Mesa? Like, were your expectations so high that you were disappointed in not winning? Because I assume, like, looking at your team, you've got Ben Johns. You probably went over some strategy you felt very confident and comfortable in. But you guys didn't win.
Yeah. No, we didn't.
Why? Why didn't you win in Mesa?
Correct.
You are right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all. I just wanted you to say that. We're done here. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in this week.
Oh, he's got his vibe back. He's back.
Yeah,
So you
I'm
know
back.
you lost.
Yeah, just a reminder. And
Yeah.
you can let your team know, too, right? You'll tell
Yeah,
them from
yeah.
me that you guys lost in Mesa. What happened?
Yeah. So we started off really strong, actually, like in pool play. I think we were the number one or two seed coming out of pool play. And so we got a bye to the semis. Me and Etta were playing great. I mean, our whole team was playing great. And we got to the semis. And one of the biggest things that I think really affected us and we learned from in the semis is we didn't warm up on the court we were going to be playing on. And the shadows were insane. Like
They're crazy out
They
there.
look gnarly there. Yeah.
Oh, and especially at that time in the morning. Yeah, it was so harsh, and it takes my eyes a minute to adjust. And I didn't realize each team is supposed to have 30 minutes each on the court you're supposed to play on. I didn't know that was one of the rules. So we were warming up on a court outside, and the other team was the Hustlers were warming up inside on the court. So, you know, they're able to see all the different shadows and the different lighting.
They have the full court.
They have the full court, and they had it for a full hour. And I didn't realize until after the tournament, they were like, why didn't you kick us off? I was like, I didn't know we could. I thought it was just first come, first serve. You know, I thought.
Thanks for offering, guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
So that was strategy on their part.
So smart.
Yeah. So yeah, we like get on the court like 3 minutes before we're starting, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I can barely see the ball. And we start our women's match, and instantly, like, Lacey and Anna are driving to this spot, and it's like
That
going
nobody
right through,
can see.
Yeah, where I can't see the ball at all, and so yeah, so our women's match just flew. It just flew by. I couldn't see a ball, and Etta was struggling too, but it was really unfortunate. And so, because with our team, if we win our women's, we're pretty set. Like Ben and Tyler have been crushing men's. They've lost one match, like out of both events, and then Ben and Etta also like are undefeated. They're undefeated. So if me and Etta get that women's, then we're good. So that we ended up losing that, and we end up going to a dream breaker, and that was also a learning experience. I didn't put much work into my singles leading up to it. I thought I put enough. I was hoping my tennis background was going to just, you know, lead the way, and I was going to be all right. And because I played a couple like rec singles games, and I thought that was going to be fine. And when you're in that pressure situation with not much experience, it all just I freaked out internally. It actually it probably looked like I was like really chill, but I was.
Yeah, it did.
I was
I would have never guessed calling this matchup. Anyways, continue.
Yeah,
So you're saying that there's more to pickleball than hope.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ben Johns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So go on.
Yeah. So yeah, we end up going to the Dream Breaker. I was up against Lacey. Lacey played great, so I have to give that to her. But I also just felt lost. Because they were just like, oh, just return and go in. So I would like return and go, but then I wouldn't split step and the ball's already past me. And I just was like, I was struggling. And then other times I didn't feel confident after my return, so I'd stay back. And it was just a mess. There was zero confidence. And if you're in a dream breaker in the semis, you need a little bit of confidence and hope. And I didn't have any of that. So that didn't help. And so I really took that and was like, I'm showing up to Daytona, ready for singles, ready to go if it comes to that. And so I would say, like, at least in our women's, the lighting really had a huge effect on mine and Edda's play. We might have still lost anyways because Lacey and Anna are playing amazing, but I think it might have been a little closer if we could have seen the ball a little better.
So do you think that they were purposely hitting in that spot that they knew you probably couldn't
For sure.
see like that?
Totally.
Like, does that go into every match? Like
Captain
you're going,
Obvious.
well, I'm just like you see when the waters were getting lobbed and they were looking straight into the sun and they were getting upset at it. Like, is there any sportsmanship? Like, what line can you not cross when you're looking for those advantages? Are all of that's all fair game? And you don't blame the team again on the other side? Are you getting frustrated with them? Like, come on, let's play for real. Or are you just like, that's the nature of the beast?
Nature of the beast.
They're utilizing the variables.
Totally. I think I think in their interview after that match, like, they were legit saying, oh, we knew Meghan couldn't see the ball, so we just kept hitting there.
Yeah, for sure. I would tell her after, sorry, we just kept hitting at you.
I can totally see.
Yeah.
I want to follow up on that thought, though, because I think it was obviously more than, I mean, Dave Fleming pointed out that you were obviously the X Factor. You got the MVP as well. What else did you take to heart and work on in your game between Mesa and Daytona Beach?
I worked a lot on, a lot of it is just like the mental side of things, like having like more self-belief and, like one of the biggest things I've added to like my daily routine since like the last MLP, and it's been helping me in like PPAs but all my events is I've been making sure to meditate like 10 minutes every morning and 10 minutes every evening, at least 10 to 15 minutes. And it just really helps in like when I am in these pressure situations to kind of become like more grounded in the present. And it just, it's really been carrying over into my play. And helping me a lot. I feel like I used to get a little more scatterbrained, a little more nervous and put people on pedestals. And now I'm like really focusing on just playing the ball. Doesn't matter who's on the other side. And so shifting that mindset, has really helped.
Is there specific like keywords that you use when, I know you're meditating before, but then does that transfer into what you meditate about into the match and having specific keywords that kind of trigger that like flow calmness that you use through the meditation?
So one thing that like sticks out to me right now is like I feel like I have a lot of like sayings that are going on in my head, but just kind of like that the outcome isn't determined. Like sometimes like when you're down, you're like, okay, like you start thinking ahead or like how you need to do all these different things, but just remembering that like if the match isn't over till it's over, and to just like lately actually the thing that helps me the most is like I'm being more productive with my thoughts of like a lot of times like I don't get low or I like not moving my feet, and so I'm kind of trying to keep it more productive when I'm out there on the court. So if I miss a shot, I usually am like, okay, it's probably because you did this. Fix it. Let's go. And that helps me to just stay focused on the process and not the outcome.
Right.
And kind of rambling, but those are the main things.
I like that because that's similar to what I try to utilize myself, but then also when I'm coaching, trying to teach kids or even just like adult players, because you say phrases like, let's go, come on, side out, let's go, stay, like hit the ball or whatever, like no more airs. There's like all these useless like filler words that don't do anything for you. And it's like, if you really just simplify and be like, let's just target the right side player. And that's all the information you need. And you're like, oh, and somehow you calm down and you're free because you have a game plan. So there's like a direction to take all this like feeling towards that side of the court. And then it lets you also think about like, it's not about you. Cause I think when we play that, or like when we make mistakes, we just over process and analyze all the things and get out this, that, and this. And it's like, when you're in that flow state, you're not thinking about that. You're just in that like sweet realm where you're just, everything's slowed down. So that's rad. Like having information to target the anxiousness or the feelings. That's a rad tactic to use.
Yes.
Let's go from Mesa. You end Mesa. Now you're looking forward to Daytona. Is this like the next day? Are you like, we're getting ready for Daytona right now? Or do you take a week off to, recover and recoup? And then are you like, I've seen enough of you guys for a little while. Let's get it back on our text thread in a week. Like what is the game plan from there building into Daytona?
Yeah. So right after we lost in the semis, me and Edda were hanging out and we felt all the feels. We just kind of let it out. We were disappointed.
Tears?
Oh yeah. Tears happened. Some tears happened. We went to go get a smoothie, but a little tears happened because we both just felt like there were certain things we could have done to prepare more, or like we were just a little disappointed in some of the things that happened on the court, and so we got to talk it out and let that out right after, and then I would say like a couple days after the event, I was just like, we got to get on singles. We got to put ourselves in some tournaments, even though it's like, I don't know, a little nerve-wracking to play singles, but I wanted to get more experience and put myself in like tournament play. So instead of just rec games, to prepare more. Right out the gate, pretty much wanted to get ready for the next one and do better.
Okay. And then was the whole team, like after Mesa, did anybody go to the team and be like, hey, part of the reason we lost was you, this, you, that? Was there any finger pointing, or was it all just
probably
like
a ton of blaming?
No, I mean, just like
saves.
Sometimes it's too kumbaya, and everybody's like, sorry, we all lost together, and then nothing gets resolved.
No,
or everybody's professional enough to know what they struggled with.
I feel like that, yes, but like it was really nice actually, because I was the last person on the court. Like I didn't do super great in singles, and the very last point was like Lacey beating me. And so Ben was really nice, and he texted me and reached out, and he's like, I think it was the next day, he was just like, hey, I don't want you to be beating yourself up. Like, tough conditions, you played great all weekend. And that was that. And that was pretty much it. We didn't do like a group thing like, oh, next time guys, this or that. It was just kind of is what it is. We know what we all did, like you said, like how we performed. Okay. And then probably a couple weeks after that, we touched base with each other.
The worst part is when you see all your friends and family and they each individually ask you the same question. What happened? Well,
like we're doing now,
and you're like, now. Oh, it's like going to church after you didn't win the finals, and they're like, whoa, what happened? You have to tell every single person. That's the worst part.
Yeah, that's why I stopped going to church.
Well, unfortunately, everyone knew what happened, so they didn't even have to ask me what happened.
Yeah, perfect. It was just everyone's like, want to go get ice cream?
No, let's not don't make eye contact with Meghan. Don't make eye contact with her.
Let's just keep going to rad restaurants. She just wants to go eat. Let's just distract her with food.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, you're good. You'll get the next one. No one even had to ask me. They're just okay.
That's the worst. That's even worse.
You're like,
fine. You'll get the next one.
They're not even worried about me?
So... How did your prep go? You signed up for all these singles events. Mm-hmm. Were you feeling pretty confident immediately, or were you like, well, okay, this is going to be a little bit of work?
I was feeling pretty good, actually. I just like getting out there, I felt like I picked it up pretty quick. Not saying like I'm great at singles by any means right now, but I just definitely feel like I know how to move, and it's like more instinctual than it was before. Like I'm feeling a lot more confident, and it's actually kind of fun. I didn't think I would like singles as much. I've always loved doubles, even in tennis. Like, doubles was my thing, because I love having a partner. I love cheering on a partner, and I love volleying, being up at the net. So in singles, I am trying to make it so I'm like hitting and coming in, and I am up there more. Yeah.
Okay, I like it. So
Yeah.
you're working on singles. That's the primary thing you were working on, building up to Daytona.
Yeah. Yeah. Like for my game, working on singles, and then like I was saying, just working on just like getting a better headspace when I'm out there on the court. That's probably been the biggest thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go to Daytona then.
Okay.
You guys crushed. You're named the MVP. You win. At what point were you, or was there ever a point in the tournament where you were like, things are clicking, we are going to win this? And then you're also like, I'm probably going to be MVP. I'm assuming that's what's going through your head pretty early on.
That actually is kind of funny that you say that, because
Yes.
it was weird because it's not like, I don't know, it's not like your goal is ever, or maybe it is someone's goal, but I didn't have like a goal to be MVP. You know, I just
Well,
was
if
like,
it was someone's goal, they're devastated. They're heartbroken. They're listening to this. You're here. They're not.
Can't believe she got it.
Talking
I
about
wanted it so bad.
I wanted the MVP so bad. Okay, go on. Let's hear what you have to say, Megan. So, at what point were you like, I'm going to be MVP on this thing?
It was like I think it was the day before the finals. I had a weird thought of like, oh, I'm playing like I've been playing pretty solid, because I think I won 7 out of my 8 singles points in our one Dream Breaker we had, and that like thought creeped in my head for a second where it was like, oh, what if you got MVP? And then I was like, don't even think about that. Like, you need to like go perform, and like that's not like, don't worry about that. So, but it was
meditate.
funny that I even had that thought.
Do you think the other people on your team had that thought? Do you think they were all fingers crossed, hopeful to be MVP, and now they resent you a little bit?
Legitimately, like anybody on my team could have got it. Like I
Smart answer.
But I truly believe that. Like when they were calling out MVP, like at first we were all like Edda or Ben. It literally could have been anyone, and it was super.
Tyler, even Tyler.
I was about to say Tyler. I was on my way to Tyler, but yes, even Tyler. Everyone on the team. But I mean, it's really cool that I got it. And yeah, gonna go on that cruise eventually.
Yes.
To the Bahamas.
Woohoo.
Yeah. So.
Did you get any? Did you work in any MVP bullet points in contracts with sponsors where you get a little kickback or anything like that? Cool, or no? We have to fix that.
No, we gotta fix it.
Okay, we gotta fix it.
Okay, Casey's your new agent.
Yeah.
I know. I actually don't have an agent. I do. I should get one so they can come up with all these ideas.
Yeah, like everything. If you score 7 out of 8 in singles in the Dream Breaker, you get an extra $2,000. Like, let's make that happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Just make sure it's a good agent. There's some shysters in that market.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like that's
Are we
kind of
naming
why
names?
I mean, in the sports broadcasting world.
Oh, okay.
I can name a few.
Yeah.
Not in the pickleball world. I don't know about that, but I just know, get a contract lawyer if you sign anything,
Yes.
because they're tricky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, that's my 2 cents.
So what was the celebration like after the win? Did you guys go out and, hit the town really hard, and then
Hit Daytona up.
I don't know what's in Daytona.
A week
Oh my
after
gosh,
Biker Week.
it's so gnarly.
You don't
It's
know what's
so
in
I've
Daytona.
never
What did
been
I
to
say?
Daytona. No.
Yeah.
Is that good? Am I better for
You're
not knowing?
You're not missing that
You're not
much.
missing much.
Okay.
You're not missing that much.
So did you fly somewhere really quick on a private jet and
Straight to
have a
Vegas.
celebration there?
No, we kept it pretty chill, actually. Like, right after it, Ben, a lot of the dinner spots were closed, actually, for some reason, but we just ended up ordering pizza and hanging out at the Airbnb we got. We had some other friends come over, and then Ben had to get on a flight like in 2 hours. So,
Oh, wow.
and then Ed and Tyler had like a 5 a.m. flight, so they went to bed early. It was very low key. It was a very low key celebration.
That always happens when you go deep and then you win the finals. One, there's a lot of the players are gone. They're like, no, there's nobody left. And then you're like, I want to celebrate, and you're like, no, everybody celebrated when they lost like 2 nights ago. They all were celebrating. It always happens. So you're like alone with your trophy. eating pizza like
Do
you're
they
12
want to
years old.
celebrate? And do they want to celebrate with you after you've defeated them? Is that like? I mean,
Right.
I could do it,
Right.
but I don't necessarily know that I'd enjoy being like,
Yeah.
oh, Meghan trounced me so hard at the
yeah.
MLP. Let's go celebrate her victory over us.
Yeah.
So huge congratulations, Meghan. Super awesome. Go Cougs.
Yes.
And always representing. We love that.
Wait, where did Etta go to school? Did she
She
go to
went to
college?
BYU, Hawaii.
Yeah.
That counts.
That
and
counts.
then Tyler went to
Surrounded.
BYU too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so awkward for everyone else who didn't go to BYU.
Yeah.
Right?
On
Right.
that team and in this podcast.
Right? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Michelle.
I'm
sorry.
the awkward man
Yeah.
out.
So-
It's okay. Respect.
Now
Go Cougars.
So now you're riding this high MLP. Now let's go to PPA this past weekend in your home state. Is Utah your home state?
No.
Yeah.
California is.
I mean,
You
I'm from-
reside there.
Yes. I'm Southern California girl, but living in Utah right now.
Okay.
Doesn't really feel like it though. I'm gone all the time. I'm not there very often. So
The life of a pro. How many
Yeah,
weeks
you just-
a year are you gone?
like literally every other week at least. I don't know.
Yeah.
So you're at home like half the year,
If that.
off and on. If
If that. My family's all out in California, so I come out here a lot and stay with them, even when I could be at home in Utah. So I'd say I split time between Southern California. Like I'm in Encinitas right now, and
Okay.
And Salt Lake.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go to PPA, Red Rocks, and you gold with Etta. So she's your teammate.
Yeah.
And then was this partnership partly based on the fact that you guys are on a Major League Pickleball team together, or would this have happened even without that?
It would have happened even without it, because we know each other from training out in Utah. And like at the end of last year, I had reached out to her if she wanted to get some tournaments in together before we even knew about being on the team together.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I mean, it just ended up working out great.
Destiny. Is that what you
Destiny.
would say? Yeah, destiny. Wow.
Yeah.
It's fate.
So you crushed it. You crushed it at the PPA, and you're just like on this crazy upward trajectory. You've broken through this like winning thing, gold medals. How many more gold medals are we going to see from you this year, Meghan?
Oh, man. Hopefully
Let's hear a
lot.
number.
Hopefully all of them. Right?
Right? Hopefully all of them. I'm like, how many tournaments are left?
Yes, exactly. That's what we need.
Yeah.
That's the confidence we want.
Then you
Yeah.
look back and you're like, every title you've won is like this miraculous, magical experience. You're like, how did we win? I know we played good, but there were so many things that could have gone wrong, but they didn't, and we made it
Yeah.
happen. And then to do it like back to back with the MLP and then Red Rock, you're like, well,
Yeah.
is this real life? This is awesome.
Right.
It's so cool.
Seriously. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how me and Etta felt after I feel like we both, like the MLP moment and the PPA moment. Like right after we do it, we look at each other and we're like, okay.
Yeah.
we don't.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's because, like we were saying, like we're so focused on the process. We're so focused on like each point, like what we're trying to execute, like little things, stay up on the line, be aggressive. And that's like all we're thinking about. And then all of a sudden the outcome just kind of happens, and you open your eyes and you're like, oh wow, we just pulled it off. We got gold, or we
Yeah.
won MLP. And it's kind of surreal. And it's been fun being able to do it with Etta both times, because I just feel like we're on like this same wavelength of like focus and intention, and it's been really cool.
That's right.
Walk us back through the weekend for those who missed it. Like, what were, in your eyes, some of the bigger wins for you guys? What worked about your partnership? Like, what was your journey this weekend?
Yeah, so I know they said it a lot on the live broadcast, but like Etta had a quad injury. She had done like Bulgarian split squats, like during her workout, and strained like her quad muscle. And so I actually wasn't even sure if we were gonna play women's, because she had pulled out of the back draw and mixed. And so I had texted her like, hey, are you good? We can pull out, don't push it. Like, I don't want you to, get more injured. And she's like, we'll just like, we'll give it a go. She's like, I'll give it my all. And if I need to stop, we'll stop. And so I kind of was just, we were just like hoping for the best. And we So yeah, we played like Jesse and Irina in the back, and we just came out like really solid in that match. And we had to wait a long time to play our semifinals match against Anna, Bright, and Viv. And kind of the storyline of the weekend is like each match, like we start off really strong. And I think against Viv and Anna, we lost the first game after being up big. And then the same thing happened with Elise and Leia in the finals. And then we kind of like lost focus. But we were able to channel that energy that we started off with and like bring it back in each match, even though like I was always checking in with Edda, asking her like how her leg is, what side she wants me to play on. Because playing the left, you have to cover more of the court. And so it was huge that we just communicated. I told her, I'm like, talk with me. I don't care what side I play. Just let me know how you're feeling and I'll take more court, whatever you need. So I keep rambling.
It's fun.
Sorry.
It's fun hashing. It's so fun. It's so fun hashing out the wins after something like that, where the tournament starts in this like you have this like more of a hopeful feeling, like, oh, I hope we can just get through this match or game, let alone get to the finals and win. Yeah. Did you guys have that fun communication after, where you rehashed all the rad points that happened and you can't believe that it happened? But then mostly, did she talk about at all, like with the injury, did it actually help her like kind of like calm and slow down and focus more on the little things, because you don't feel like you have to be a gnarly athlete, but you just take care of what you can control, kind of owning your space in a sense? Because I'm curious if you guys talked about that after.
We haven't really like discussed it since. She headed home like pretty quickly after, so I haven't talked with her much about it yet. But I'm guessing, I feel like sometimes that happens with injuries. It really can either like hinder you to the point where it's like you can't play, or it totally affected your game, or it helps you focus more and dial in. Yeah. And I feel like that's what ended up happening.
Or after the adrenaline's worn off, she's permanently injured.
She's like quad tendon tear. Yeah. Oh.
I didn't even feel it. I was so pumped on winning.
There were some moments where she like sprinted for a ball, and I was like, oh no. I'm like, you good? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. I hope you really are.
Listen, Megan, these young kids, they recover so fast.
They're so,
They're like springy and bouncy and bendy, and oh man, you don't have to worry about Edda.
Yeah.
So,
I want to know about your like journey as a pro, like what you started in 2020. How do you describe your story of coming to professional pickleball?
So I actually knew Tyler Loon in college. He was like the manager of my BYU tennis team. So
no way. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I knew him for a few years, and like he was always posting about his pro pickleball journey. And I was just like, I need to try this out. I need to see what this sport's all about. And
was that really your attitude towards pickleball right off the get-go? Was like, gotta try this out? It wasn't like,
no,
I'm a tennis player.
No, I didn't have that at all. Because I mean, I love tennis, but I knew that like me trying to compete, like days were over. So so I was like, oh, I should try this new sport out. Or it's not a new sport, but you know, for me it was. And I wanted to try it out, and right away, like right after I tried it, I started seeing like I don't know, I just saw the potential of the growth for the sport, and I'm like, hey, let's go all in with this. Let's train and see what we can do. And that honestly was my mentality from the start. I always wanted to be a pro athlete, and I'm like, hey, here's another chance. Like, there's no way. I was done with tennis. I don't know what other sport I could just like dive into, go all in, where I have like this huge background in another sport that's gonna help me. Also hinders a little. There's some, things you have to try and get rid of from tennis, like bad habits to break. But yeah, so I was all in from the start. Me and Elise met when I had been playing for a few months, and like same for her. And it just worked out like so great. We both had the same goal. We both wanted to go pro, and we both were wanting to work hard and train together. And it was pretty amazing actually how we met, and it just like took off from there, and we're able to like move up the ladder together. So that's where it started. One of our friends who we actually both like had like teamed up with, she invited us to practice against each other in Utah, and every time we play against each other, like the matches were close, and every time we team up, we were beating everyone like 11-0. And and I was like, hey, we should team up. And she was open to it after like the second time we played together. The first time she wasn't fully sold, but then the second time we played together, she was sold, and we started signing up for tournaments together and won our first 5-0 tournament together. And then the next day played women's pro and just got annihilated. But it was awesome. We knew we had to throw ourselves in there. That's what you have to do. Like if you, even if you're not ready, you have to throw yourself in there and then see what shots, you need to learn. And because they were,
you see such different things. You're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that was possible. Okay, now I know. Yeah,
we were cracking up. We were cracking up because like we were so confident after our 5-0 day, and then we played pro the next day, and we played Leia and Lauren Stratman, and they're hitting these like shots from below the net, and we're like we seriously kept looking at each other like, how is that even possible? And and so that was pretty funny. We learned a lot from that match. They smoked us.
That's awesome.
So when you said she wasn't sold on the partnership, or she wasn't sold on playing tournaments?
I think she wasn't sold on the partnership. We can ask her.
Okay, we'll ask her if she ever becomes MVP of MLP.
Yeah, we'll have to wait till she's MVP, right?
There we go. Fair.
So
Did you ever have to work a 9-to-5 job after college or anything like that, or you just went all in pickleball right away?
Oh, so I had a few years. I didn't pick up pickleball until like 4 or 5 years after college. I was done with college. So I was coaching tennis mostly when I was done. I did want to try to play pro tennis, but I tore my shoulder like right after I was done with college. And I was like, I think I could have had fun playing doubles, but anyways, so I started off when I was done with college. That happened. Started coaching tennis after that. And then, I picked up pickleball. I tried one normal, like 9-to-5 job, and I lasted a week. I couldn't do
prison?
it.
Oh my gosh.
I've heard those types of jobs are the worst.
None of us work 9-to-5.
It was like a sales job at a tech company, and everyone's like, oh, you're an athlete, you're competitive, it'll motivate you. And I got in there, I'm like, this is nothing like competing.
I need to move.
Exactly.
I like all these incentives I don't care about. So like,
yes.
And so, so I lasted about a week and a half at that, and then went back to coaching because then I can make my own schedule and do my own thing. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you seem to have found yourself, Megan. So congratulations.
Thank
huge
you.
Congratulations on all of your successes. MVP of MLP. Not too many people can say that. And PPA gold medalist. For our listeners, you can follow Megan on Instagram if you want to see vegan food mixed with some pickleball. It's like one of the top accounts.
3-to-1
that
ratio.
has that Venn diagram crossover. So that's really exciting. For all of the MLP action and news, you can go to MajorLeaguePickleball.net to rewatch any of the highlights and any of the matchups you may have missed. You can follow Michelle McMahon on Instagram as well. And Casey Patterson, he's on there. Lots of pickleball content from all of us. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next week, see ya.